Well, if you're interested in becoming a vegetarian but can't commit to following the diet completely, you may want to consider becoming a Sometimes-atarian. Registered dietitian Andrea Holwegner is here, and you're going to explain what that is. But first, we hear about vegetarian and just that fad a lot. Is it actually as common as it seems to be?
You know, and I couldn't find any really current statistics because, of course, there's so many different ways you can be vegetarian, but it's about 4% of Canadians.
So that's not very much.
So not a ton of people sort of embracing the lifestyle fully, and I would be in that category because I'm a foodie and I love cuisine. I love vegetarian food, but I also love the variety as a part of just healthy eating as well.
Right, right. Then there are some people who want to try to become a vegetarian, like myself, but then it's hard because then you crave that steak. So, right? So, or chicken, whatever, right? Yeah, once in a while. I do love different types of vegetarian food, like tofu. For someone who may want to try it, but doesn't want to commit the entire way through, you've coined the term Sometimes-atarian.
Sure, and I thought, well, a flexitarian, what that term actually means is you're a vegetarian that sometimes eats meat. And I thought, okay, well, what if you're a meat eater that sometimes eats vegetarian, which would be sort of, you know, the category that myself and so many Canadians are. And so I came up with the word Sometimes-atarian.
Okay, and so that's what I am then. I'm a Sometimes-atarian. Now, what are the benefits of being a vegetarian?
You know, vegetarian food, and when we look at some of the great options for planning vegetarian meals, you think of all of those great legumes. So your lentils, your chickpeas, black beans are probably my personal favorite. And then, you know, mentioned tofu, nuts, seeds, all of those are wonderful, good sources of protein. And the legume family particularly, excellent sources of fiber and great antioxidants for reducing heart disease, diabetes, cancer, all of that good stuff.
So benefits to doing that. I've also got into quinoa quite a bit. Does that not have a bit of protein in it too?
It has a little bit more protein in that particular grain, sure.
I'm one of those people where if there's a fad something, I'm on that bandwagon for a little bit. Okay, so if let's say I want to be a Sometimes-atarian, how often should I be doing this?
You know,
to start me off.
One of the things that we've incorporated in our family that I love to suggest to our clients is shoot for once a week. So we do what's called a meatless Monday often in our house. So tonight I'm going to be featuring the Mexican pie in our household here. That's going to be very much more of a legume-based meal rather than incorporating meat.
Meatless Mondays. I think I can handle that. So you have a couple of meal ideas here. Let's just start from the right. What do we have here?
Very, very simple. What I've got here is just a chickpea salad. So a can of chickpeas, put them in a strainer, drain off that solution, chop up some. I put any kind of vegetables could work. I put some green peppers, some corn, tomatoes, cilantro.
Right. Some balsamic reduction, which we both love.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I just drizzle that in. It gives it that natural sweetness. And what a wonderful, healthy, easy lunch.
And you don't have to cook this, so this should take no time to make.
You got it.
And what's this bread
here? It's just
a
lovely olive baguette to go with it.
Right, looks very hearty.
Vegetarians, more of their calories are going to be coming from grains because of the nature of the lifestyle.
Okay, now what is our second meal plan here?
This is probably one of our favorite vegetarian foods. My 3.5-year-old loves this as well. We call it Mexican pie in our family, and I didn't put the final wrap on the top. I would have put the wrap and then topped it with a little cheese, and you just toss that in the oven. And how you make this, I brought the major ingredients here. You take a wrap, and then you start layering with beans. And you can use anything. You could use a refried bean. We used canned beans and tomato sauce and a black bean. Put the canned stewed tomatoes in a strainer and drain off a lot of that liquid. You can also, of course, use fresh tomatoes, but in the winter, these are great options. Chop up the peppers, put in a little corn, and keep layering a little bit of cheese and keep layering this.
So they're all layers underneath. Oh, I see.
You see all those layers, and then you cut it like a pie.
I can see it, yeah.
And what's really great is that this even freezes well, so you can even cut yourself some slices, put them in the freezer.
And then you have a meal ready to go.
Yeah.
Perfect. And what's our last one here?
Our last one here, this is one of the easiest, simplest, awesome sandwiches you can make with some of my favorite ingredients, which happens to be avocado. Kale, of course, is always trendy. Still is. It was
trendy.
Last year's trendiest vegetable, and it still lives on. Although cauliflower
it's still in my fridge, so I know it's still trendy.
Cauliflower is giving kale some competition this year. But Anyways, yeah, drain your canned black beans, put in some salsa. You know, if you are okay with a little bit of cheese, of course, a little bit of feta cheese makes this just lovely.
Right, and cheese is one of the great things about being a vegetarian. I love cheese, first of all, so you get your protein with that as well.
You got it.
All right, well, thank you so much. These are great ideas. It makes becoming a Sometimes-atarian not so hard, especially for all the meat lovers out there. Thank you again, registered dietitian Andrea Holwegner. For more information on this or other topics, you can check out her website at healthstandnutrition.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Kelsey, what do you think?
I think